Welcome to Stoll Orthodontics and congratulations on starting your treatment. I'm going to go over all the instructions that you need on how to properly take care of your braces. So brushing now with braces is just a new little technique that you need to use. So if we look at my little model here, instead of just brushing straight onto the brackets, we want to take our toothbrush and angle it from above to kind of brush above and below the brackets. That way you make sure you're actually brushing all the way around the braces to keep everything nice and healthy and clean. And that is the biggest thing with brushing with braces, to make sure that you're doing differently than you did before, okay? Some other really helpful things are some other cool little tools that we have for you now. The best ones are these little flossers, these little Plackers Orthopic flossers. They are made with this little flat side to them so that they fit right underneath the wire and in between the brackets, so you can floss very easily all the way around. You want to make sure you have ones that are made for braces, because normal flossers like this that you might already have are rounded, and that round side will not fit underneath the wire, okay? Sometimes as teeth are rotated, you're not able to use those right away, and it also is still really good to get a better floss with regular flossers, so we gave you some of these floss threaders as well that you can use. It is this blue part, and you're going to attach a piece of floss onto it, and you're going to use this to go underneath the wire and in between the brackets. Once you have your floss in there, then you can just kind of floss like you normally would. So this is very helpful where teeth are rotated and you're not able to fit those flossers in, and also just in general it's a better floss. So it's a good idea to do these at least once a week with these kind of flossers, and then you can use this kind of flosser every night to keep things nice and healthy and clean. Also, we have these little proxy brushes. It's this little Christmas tree shaped brush, and they are just made to fit right underneath the wire and in between the brackets to keep everything nice and clean. You can just take that right like that, and also it has a little lid to it so you can take it on the go to help keep things clean when you're out and about and away from the house, okay? So now we want you to try to brush your teeth 3 times a day compared to 2 times a day before. You want to try to brush after every meal just to help keep things healthy and clean. You can use a fluoride rinse at night, like an active fluoride rinse. That is very helpful as well to keep the enamel of the teeth very nice and healthy. And we want you to use those floss picks every night, which are these little flossers, and the floss threaders for a deeper clean as needed. We usually recommend at least once a week. And then those proxy brushes, those little Christmas tree brushes, to help get anything that might get stuck in between your braces, instead of using your fingers in case anything gets stuck in there. So decalcification, if you can see that in this picture right here, we have these squares where the brackets were and this white staining around where the brackets were, and that is a permanent stain on your tooth. That stain is never going to go away, and that's what we don't want the teeth to look like. So the teeth will not look like that as long as you brush your teeth really well and brush all that plaque off and make sure it's not sitting there. Along with that, the gums can get really red and irritated or really puffy like in these pictures. So the red gums is because you're not flossing and brushing as well to get all that bacteria out of there. And sometimes the gums get a bit puffy just from having the braces on there, not getting the same kind of attention you used to with your toothbrush and whatnot before. And so brushing the gums really helps to keep that under control. So that's hygiene is just very important with braces. You don't want really puffy gums or red gums or just those staining on your teeth. So that's why it's really important to keep them nice and clean. So at first there's a lot to kind of get used to. There's a lot happening with your new braces and wires. So it's normal to feel some discomfort for the first few days. We usually say 3 to 4 days to kind of get used to everything. You can take an ibuprofen if you need to for pain. They are just very sore for a little bit, and it just takes some time to get used to that. So ibuprofen helps as well as softer and colder foods for the first few days. Softer stuff, just, less that you have to chew, so it makes them a little bit less tender when you go to eat. And colder foods just relax the wire a bit more, so that way you can get a little bit of a break from that pressure of the brackets. You also will have wax that will be in a little container like this. There are just strips of wax inside, and you just take a little bit of it and roll it into a little ball with your fingers. If I can get it to go. So you just have a little ball of wax, and you're going to use that to squish onto whatever bracket is driving you bonkers. And this is helpful if you have like a little sore or something on your cheek and you just need a break from that bracket scratching on it. It's very helpful to use it for that, and then you can just peel it off or brush it off when you are done. Anything other than that that is just bothering you and causing problems, we can always see you in the office, but that is a very good solution at home to help with stuff. So some of the stuff we want you to avoid eating now that you have braces on are pictured in this little slide here. So the biggest things that you want to make sure you avoid is really hard sticky candy. So that's your gum, your taffy, your caramel, Jolly Ranchers, all that kind of stuff along those lines. You also need to be very careful with taco shells and hard corn chips like tortilla chips. They can get that little corner of that little hard chip and just get it right under the brackets and pop them off. So be very careful with that type of food. Candy bars that have like nuts and caramel in them are very tricky. That likes to pop brackets off. Okay. Anything like celery or carrots or beef jerky that you might have to bite into with your front teeth or kind of rip and tear with your teeth, you want to have pieces that you can chew on your back teeth versus your front teeth. And popcorn, those little kernels like to get stuck, so that can be a pain. You do have this very cool little magnet that we are sending home with you as well, which goes over all of these kind of foods you want to avoid, and you can keep that on the fridge at home. This magnet also has a lot of common things that happen with braces in the beginning and solutions of how you can help take care of that at home, as well as a reminder on brushing and flossing. A very cool little magnet to put on your fridge at home. Okay, so rubber bands. Pretty much all of our patients are going to be wearing rubber bands in some form or another, and we will instruct you on how to place them and how much you're going to wear them, what patterns, that kind of thing. And just know that they're very important to get your teeth to the proper position. Your effort and your rubber bands equal how good your results are going to be. So if you wear your rubber bands really, really good, then your results are going to be amazing, and you can even get your braces done early. If you only put in half of the effort, then you have to be okay with half the results. Your results are not going to be as good. So just keep that in mind. We also do have these fun rewards cards that you should have set up. If not, we set you up on it today, and they just look like this, or a blue one like you see below. And these cards are just kind of fun way for us to reward you. So you get points for being a great patient. So we give you points for coming to your appointments on time and not breaking your brackets off and just doing all the things that we ask you to do. We add up points on your card, and those points add up to gift cards to many different places: Target, Starbucks, Olive Garden, whatever you can think of. Okay, so make sure you bring this card with you to your appointments and ask the assistant if they didn't check to make sure that you got your points. Just ask them to put points on your card so that they don't forget. And when you're ready to log in and get you some new points, what you're going to do is go to this website, stollsmiles.com, and you're going to click on the rewards hub, which is one of these pictures like this, and it's going to take you to the rewards hub, and then you're going to log in. And on the back side of your card, you're going to see that username and temporary password. That is unique to you, and that's what you need to enter in order to log into your little account. See how many points you have and trade those points in for gift cards, and the gift cards will get mailed to your house. So it's a very fun way for us to reward you. Some helpful hints, things to keep in mind. If a bracket breaks, meaning that it comes loose off of your tooth, don't worry, and we can fix it at your next appointment. Just hang on to it in a bag if it did come off, and that way you can bring it back to us. If it's still attached to the wire, it is fine for it to kind of hang out in there and not cause you any problems. But definitely do give us a call so that we can get you scheduled to come back in and see us if you're not already scheduled. And if you're uncomfortable, check out our home solutions to see if there's anything that you can do at home to help you. And we did give you this cool little brochure that looks just like this. It has lots of very helpful information to get you just to fill you in on all the stuff about your braces, if I can open it here. So it has foods to avoid, keeping things clean, some of the different parts and pieces of stuff that we use, and describes what it is, what it's used for, so that you know what we're doing and what to call things. Sometimes that can be helpful. So here's talking about broken brackets. Okay, very, very cool little book. So we gave that to you. You can reference that at any time. Also, we do have an assistant on call over the weekend. So we have a special on-call phone. So if you have an emergency, you can still get a hold of us. So you call our normal office, and it will prompt you with the on-call phone number to reach an assistant, and they will talk you through an issue, meet you at the office if you need to. You can also send pictures so we can help evaluate what's going on. There are many orthodontic issues that can be resolved at home, but we are of course here to help if you have any questions. So feel free to give us a call at any time if you ever need to. Congratulations on getting your braces on. We're so happy to have you be part of the Stoll family.